Hey scrappers, it's Vanessa here, and today is release weekend for Tracy Reed Designs' new Story Foundation collection. And today is the YouTube hop. So in the description box below, I'll have a link to everyone who's playing along today. Go and check everyone out and grab this fabulous collection while it is on sale. This will coordinate with everything I believe that Tracy's going to make for the year. And this is definitely, as the title states, foundations. There are, if you do project life or life documented kind of scrapping, there is tons of cards in color and neutrals that'll last you a whole year. There are labels and tags and word strips. There are alphas, multiple alphas that come in 13 different colors, I believe. And one of them is that little tiny, this here, since I have it for my layout, these little tile letter sets. Those are my absolute favorites, hence why they're going on this layout. There's also all the months, and then the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I believe, is out there as well. There are journaling boxes, you name it. You'll have everything you need for foundations for all of your pages for the entire year. I don't personally do the project life kind of scrapping, but there is plenty to use. I'm going to do a 12 by 12 layout today, and I'm actually going to create what Janet from RTS Scrapbooking used to call her month in review, or her sort of monthly layout. Mine's just going to be a one page, but I'm thinking, because I don't do project life or anything like that, but I was thinking that every month, especially because this collection is going to coordinate, I could do a monthly page each month, where it will be sort of just a couple of photos from that month, sort of highlights from that month. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. So before I get started, I thought I would show you what I've created so far. For this kit, there aren't any sort of icons, no flowers and things like that are normally in Tracy's collections. It's really just all foundational. So what I did is I printed, in this case, the orange and the blue solid pattern paper, or solid cardstock colors from the collection, and I took some dies and I went ahead and cut some florals for this page, and so I have those. I also took and used a punch on this. This is one of the papers. It is a orange with a white polka dot. And then, like I showed you, I have the tile letters that are going to make up part of my title, which is just going to be January highlights. So this is the giant January that I printed. I did mat this on itself a couple of times just to make it a bit more substantial. And then I'm keeping it really simple for this page because of the fact that I don't even know the photos that are going to go on it. I'm going to show you where I'm going to place the photos with an idea of a configuration, because obviously I don't have photos because January hasn't happened yet as of when I'm filming this. So I have just one of the many labels and a little photo notes, and then this is one of the little word strips that says worth remembering, and so I pulled that. So to start, I will also tell you that these are the ink colors that I use to ink up all of my florals. So the lighter blue, I used Tranquil. The green, I used Sage. For the orange, I used Mandarin Spice and Bellini for the lighter orange. And then for the darker, I used Stone, and I thought I would just show you real quick. All I did is I just take a little bit of the ink and I start off my floral and then sort of circular motion, and bring it around This just adds a little bit of interest to the florals and adds a bit of depth in color so that I have florals that are not just plain solid cardstock. So there you go. That is how I did those. I just wanted to show you that real quick. And then basically all I'm going to do is I just bend up all of the florals, and then I have the rest of this one over here. Yeah, let me make sure I have all the pieces. So here I'm going to glue those two together. And then for the centers, I had enamel dots in orange, and then for the blue ones, I used some crystal drops in midnight blue. Hey, sorry about that, guys. I had to stop the camera there for a second. My husband came up to bring me a drink, and so I apologize. But we're going to put this flower together real quick, and then we are going to put the layout together. So like I said, I bend up all of the leaves. Again, it gives some texture and dimension to my florals. So that is just going to be my added element to this page, because I wanted to add something else to it other than just labels and word strips, which would have been fine. I definitely could have left it at that, but I like to add more. But I also didn't want to make these pages too involved, especially if I plan on having one for every month. I didn't want to make them too complicated. I'm thinking that they'll all follow somewhat of a similar design. They'll definitely all have the big month title, and then we'll see. I might change up and not do florals. We'll see what Tracy comes up with for each of the monthly collections that will kind of coordinate. So perhaps I will use some of those to decorate my monthly or month in review layouts. So I'm just going to finish putting this together. Then I will bring in the papers that I'm going to use. And last, so there's no real rhyme or reason to this. Kind of just sticking my florals together. It's probably going to be too long, so we'll see if that. I don't have a ton of real estate on this page when it's all said and done, so we'll see if these florals might end up being too big. I'm not 100% sure. All right, so all of that is ready to go, and now we're going to bring in our papers for our 12 by 12. So I have this blue, which is the blue solid from the collection itself. I did gut the center of that so I could use it to make those florals. And then I have this heart pattern paper. That is going to be my background, so I'm going to cut that down. And then this is what I'm going to mat all of my photos on. So I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to cut this down to about 11.5 by 11.5. So it will be matted in the blue. And then this mat here, I am thinking I am going to make this about probably 10.25 by probably 8.25. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. When I get back, I will measure this blue paper and just make sure that that is the true size that I'm going to use. And then we'll go ahead and quickly put the rest of this together. Okay, we are back. And I ended up, let me just make sure I'm in frame. So I ended up cutting this to 8.5 by 10.5. So And I ended up taking off this extra leaf. I might still use it, but I knew it was going to be too big. So I did take those off. So now we're going to build our page. I don't have anything glued down, so I'm going to build it and then glue it down off camera, and we'll come back and probably just add maybe some enamel dots potentially to finish this page. So it's going to be pretty simple, and these white squares are going to symbolize my photos. So this is sort of the idea that I have. Now, when the end of January comes, maybe I have more photos than this, so these become smaller, or I have less photos, and so potentially the layout of this will change because maybe I have more photos or less photos. But either way, I will just end up sizing my photos in such a way that I can fit them in this 8.5 by 10 grid that you see here. So so obviously this isn't going to be perfect because I'm not going to glue these down, but I want it to be able to give you the idea of where I'm going with this. So that's sort of how I'm envisioning this to look. So I left this intentionally open down here because I'm going to put my other florals down here. So I do plan to put, one of my florals, and I'm only going to glue down the center of the florals so that when I do add a photo, I don't have to worry about, I'm okay with my florals overlapping my photos. I can just make sure that whatever I put in these ones is something that I don't mind potentially having covered up. So we're just gonna fit these in just like so. Maybe move that one over a little bit. And then I'm doing 2 orange and 1 large in the blue, and then up here will be 1 orange and then the 2 blue. So again, these are quite large, so had I realized how much real estate they were going to take, maybe I would have done them slightly smaller, but too late now. They are done, and I'm not going to recreate them, that's for sure. And then I kind of liked this kind of snuck up in here with the worth remembering. I thought was kind of cute. Now I'm questioning whether or not I want to do the blue flower up here and the 2 orange. That is the question. And then photo notes. I'm actually wondering if I will take that photo out altogether and maybe have these be in here like this. And I'm actually sitting down and not standing up to record this, so I'm hoping that all of this is staying in frame. We'll see when I go to edit this video. So potentially I might do that, because then if I want more photos, I can just make these a group of 4 2x2s. So I kind of like that. I kind of like that, I think. Then I can play around with the placement of these. Kind of like that. And then if I did want to add that back in, I can have that be there. But now, like I said, I'm thinking I want to actually change out those florals, so I think I might end up doing that. And then my rest of my title is going to go right up here. And of course, everything is going to stick to my fingers. Everything is going to move every single thing I do is going to move my title and everything else, so bear with me, because this is going to say highlights up here. And I'm going to glue all of this down off camera because it's tedious. So when I come back, I will leave these here just for the video purposes. And then they'll be in the still photos as well, just so you can get a picture of where the photos are going to go. But this is what the layout's going to look like. I'm going to come back and probably just add 1 or 2 enamel dots into this. And I think I'm going to switch and do the big orange and 2 blue, and then the 2 orange and 1 blue up here. And we'll see if I stick in this other floral or this other stem. So yeah, I'm going to stop the camera here for a sec, glue all of this down, and we'll come back and finish it up. Okay, everything is glued down, and I really do like how this one turned out. So I'm just going to take some of my enamel dots here, and I don't have exactly the colors, so I grabbed an orange and some blue, and we're just going to dot them around here. And do I do a light? I think I'll do one of these up here. So then I got 3 in that one, and we'll do 2 blue up here. And I think, yeah, that one, do 2 blue and 1 small orange over there, I think. And again, that is sort of the placement of where I'm thinking photos, or how many photos. We'll see what ends up happening. You know what? I'm going to take that, put it in there maybe. I don't even know if I like that now. And I can't move that. So back to where I originally had it. All right, that is going to be it. This is done. Be sure to check the playlist down below. Still photos will be coming up next, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.